there, viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. Got us a 2000, that's right, 21-year-old New York Mazda 626. I don't know what big engine is in it, but I'm sure it's huge. It's here because the inspection is overdue and the money light's on. It's not here for us to inspect it, we just need to fix the light so the other shop can inspect it. Jason told me we got the PO 421 classic converter efficiency and the gross EVAP leak. It's got the big 2.0. It's got the red tape on old Snuffy over here. And if you put in a battery that is completely the wrong size and it's too tall and will hit the hood, do not forget to put the rubber flap over the positive and wedge the screw in the negative to keep that tight. So we're going to get her up in the air. I'm sure this car is pretty well on its way to the scrap heap at this point with the PO 421 New York laws. This thing got California emissions, does it? Let's see. California. Before we get super deep, we're going to go underneath, give it the old visual inspection, just kind of looking at the lines. Whoa. That is the classic OG cherry bomb. No kidding, look at that. Alright, lines look okay. I've got a pretty big nose, in case you've never noticed, and I don't smell gas. We've got a charcoal canister here. Looks like a classic canister vent valve, so it's probably like a vent valve purge type system, like a typical, like GM or Ford that you would see. Just kind of looking around to see if anybody's fingers have been inside of things here. No, nothing looks touched, so that's good. I'd be willing to bet she's already got the new gas cap. Alright, well, let's look at some data, maybe some theory in operation, see what the PCM's looking at, and then come up with some kind of plan. Visual inspection under the hood, we should be able to find an EVAP purge solenoid. So it looks like this hosey here goes down to this tank around town. I'm assuming this is the EVAP purge. Yeah, because that goes down to the intake. So this must be our purge solenoid right up on top. Going down. Okie dokie. And our catalytic converter that it's monitoring is going to be this one here on the front of the engine. Looking at some scan tool data, I pulled up what looks to be relevant with the fuel tank EVAP system. So I'm thinking this works pretty similar to a Ford. So 2.5 volts, and like GM, 2.5 volts is atmospheric pressure, as we can see, or close to it. We've got a canister vent valve that can work evidently on and off or duty cycle controlled. Same thing with a purge. I'm wondering, let's see if we can go into active tests here. See what kind of stuff they have in here. So we do have a canister vent valve. We have the vapor management valve. So yeah, this must be a Ford system, because I think that's what Ford also calls their purge solenoid. So it looks like we can turn the purge on and off. We can turn the vent on and off. Let's just, for grins and giggles, let's click on that. Press cancel, we don't need data. We'll just see if we can hear it. Unless it's real quiet. I don't hear anything clicking away back there, so. Okay, well, we've got some direction to go in now. Alright, so I think we got enough tools here to have a plan. We got the Evoca smoker hooked up, hanging up here. We got the smoke machine. We're going to unhook, make sure we unhook the right thing here. We're going to unhook the line off the purge. This one right here, so we can hook the smoker to it. It looks like it's been unhooked before. The clamp was not lined up in the OG spot. Maybe somebody's already been down this road. We'll leave that like that. We'll grab the Evoca smoker. We got the battery maintainer on it. The battery's about whipped in this car. We've got the smoke. So we'll hook it on here. Now this should be filling the whole vapor system all the way back to the gas cap. And then we've got the scan tool. and we're going to turn on the canister vent valve. Now, I can tell you right now, it's not turning on. So you can see our fuel tank pressure is at 2.67. Let me just shut off the smoke machine here. So 2.5 is atmospheric pressure. Canister vent valve is supposed to be closed. Now you can see the canister or the fuel tank pressure goes up to about 2.6. That's just because we're blowing, you know, about a pound of air in it. So we should have lots of smoke coming out of the back, and we simply got to go back and test the canister vent valve. So probably, but let's go have a look-see. Back here at the rear of the car, as we mentioned with our visual inspection, I got a sneeze coming.
Rona.
Rona. Don't breathe the water droplets. Jay, don't breathe the water droplets.
I'm out of here. I'm not working around this.
Hazardous. Canister vent valve. That should be closed right now. Shouldn't be any smoke going through it. Oddly enough, I'm not seeing smoke back here, which is weird. A little bit coming out of this end. We're still at 2.66 volts. So we're going to take and just unplug this vent valve. Possibly. Maybe. There she goes. Oh. Hey, baby. I don't want to go home with this on my neck. Man. Last thing I want to do is get caught with a little blood. Where you been? I'm working on a car, baby, I swear. So we're going to gingerly front probe this with a test light. Make sure we have command. Look at that. So let's see here. Let me turn off this light. So our canister vent valve is on, which it should be. I'm going to shut it off with the scan tool. Off. On. Off. On. Quarter amp should be plenty enough to work a solenoid. Let's see, let's turn this back on. I don't hear any click when I plug it in. Just kidding, that was me. That was the connector. Okay, so technically here, let's unhook this rigmarole here. Let's get all this crap off so we can see some smoke, baby.
Focus smoker's probably shut down by now.
Ah! No, I feel air coming out of it, so I'm gonna plug. Yeah, why do we have no smoke? What's up with our smoke machine?
She's rolling. Red lights
Huh.
on.
So we should be able to look at scan data now, folks, and I can prove to you that solenoid's bad more than we already have. So this typically should close the system back here, not let it, the purge vapors go back this way through the canister and then out of the canister through the vent valve and to the atmosphere. So technically, if we plug our finger off here, our fuel tank pressure should rise if the smoke machine was still on, which it's not. Awesome. That's why our videos suck. Smoker's back on. Fuel tank pressure at 2.66 volts. Jay, our most eligible bachelor, is going to go under there. He's going to give it the finger. Be nice to her now. He's going to plug it off. We're waiting, and instantly you can see we're starting to build pressure. So we're going to let that build pressure for a little bit. See how long he can stand there with his finger in the hole. He's just plugging that baby off. We should build about a quarter PSI. I think that smoke machine puts out 0.25 or 0.3, somewhere around there. And then technically what we should do is shut the smoke machine off and check its ability to, you know, maintain pressure over time. Oh, well, he's holding his finger back there. That's the price you pay for working with me.
Yes.
We have like, well, about 7,000 plastic caps over there, but they're way over there. What's up, Mrs. O?
I have a question.
Important one? You stay put, Jay. Enhance, enhance, enhance. The bouncy ball on the flow gauge is almost at the bottom, letting us know that it has little flow and likely no leaks. Jay's sticking it out there like a trooper. We're gonna wait for the bouncy ball to go to the bottom, and that way we can assure this lady. I love that right there, not gonna lie.
Is that a cherry bomb?
That is a classic cherry bomb.
All right.
Yeah,
Neat.
Thrust cherry bomb, not a sponsor. We've hit rock bottom, folks. The bouncy ball's at the bottom. Go ahead and take your finger off, Jay. Let's watch her shoot to the top.
You ready?
Yep. Ooh, there she goes, back to the top. We have no leaks, we have a bad canister vent valve. So we're gonna stick the rubber hose back on there, and by we, I mean Jay.
Alright.
And we can confidently tell this lady that she needs a canister vent valve to fix that code. And then, I guess one thing we can look at while we're right here, just out of curiosity, has this thing even run all of its monitors? Because that's something you always have to discuss with the customer. Especially when they're trying to get their lick 'em stick 'em inspection. We'll let it auto scan, see which protocol this baby runs on, see what the monitors are, because that's going to give us an indication whether or not, see, we got one monitor that's not set, whether or not it potentially could set other codes when they try to do the dry cycle. The only one that is incomplete is the catalyst, which it has already thrown a code for, so we should be good. We'll go out, we'll see how that catalytic converter is working or not working. Yep, so we have our pending PO421, so which is going to mature the next dry cycle into a 421.
I don't know if you really need it.
Yeah. Let's see what we have here, folks. She's rolling the blue smoke out the back. Can't see it coming out the door, but she rolled some big puffs of blue smoke. We got some data up on the screen. We're going to be looking at our fuel trims. We don't need calculated loader. That I don't know where they came from. We're going to look at our fuel trims, look at our oxygen sensors. It's got all brand new O2 sensors in it, of course. And we'll see what's happening. Wait for the rear converter to light off if it does. And then potentially take it for a shake. We got the blue smoke.
Maybe why the converter doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm thinking why our fuel trims are so negative. It's got the blue smoke going off from underneath it. We better pull it outside before we get killed. And yeah, we possibly ought to check the oil. Or what do they say? Check the oil, fill up the oil, check the gas. We've hit closed loop. The rear converter is functioning, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be angry with all the oil it's burning. We're going to look at our front O2, look at our rear O2. We'll give her some throttle here. She's going to rev her up after we let out some of the blue cloud. Hang up the exhaust hose because it is of no use on this car. Our catalytic converter is now cooled back off.
Give her a little throttle?
Yeah, hold it maybe like 2,000 RPMs. Unless you hear the motor rattling.
What color smoke we gonna see this time?
Yeah, let's see what kind of smoke we got, if we got any back there. Oh, come on, Altel. You didn't knock my Altel out, did you? And we got a glitch. And we got the smoke. And we got a bunch of wasted time. Let's see. Altel's locking up. She's still plugged in, Jay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're done. We're wasting time. Oh man. We're smoking you out, Goody.
I got vape shot.
Yeah. We're vaping. Alright, we're done. We'll check this real quick before we do a hot lap. Don't want her to blow up on your watch. Alright, it's only down a half a quart. Smell of oil. Unless you get sucked right down to PCV. How many miles are on this baby?
I didn't even look. Let's see what we got here.
Just for the heck of it, Dave, fire it up for me, man.
233,000.
233. Gonna look at some data with the PCV unhooked. Well, folks, this thing's burning oil like it's its job. And even with the PCV unhooked, you can still see the purple haze in here. Not that I know what purple haze is. Shut this thing off for a minute. I almost feel guilty with the Department of Environmental Conservation truck on the other lift. Jay's gonna go outside and stick a fork in this one because it's done. EVAP system, less of the worries on this thing, even though it is polluting the earth and the atmosphere with hydrocarbons, not to mention the oil burning problem. So there's really no sense, looking at it, sitting here with the PCV unhooked, holding the engine at a steady RPM. It's obvious that this car is smoked, for lack of a better term. High mileage, burning tons of oil. Putting a catalytic converter on it would be a temporary repair. It may work for like a week before it finally, grenades that new converter. Plus in New York State, we have to abide by CARB laws, California Air Research Board laws. We have to put a CARB certified converter on it, which in most cases on old cars exceeds the value of the car. And I don't know if that's New York's goal, to get these off the road, and force us to use CARB certified converters, which are ridiculously expensive. But I'll just give the lady the news. She may elect to fix the EVAP system, have her shop put a canister vent valve on it. They run it and drive it enough to get all the monitors to run and set just a pending code for the PO421 and then run it through for inspection. So that's a real common practice amongst some shops, is to do these drive cycles, these 2-trip codes, leave that code pending, plug it in real quick without shutting the car off, and slap a sticker on it. Beyond that, the car has no brakes. You have to kind of use the shifter to make it stop, and that's that. But we were hired to only look at the check engine light, so don't get down on me in the comments, and it is not my responsibility to make a customer park their car, or seize their car, or whatever other mumbo jumbo people write. So that's that. What I will say is that you should go in the comment section. Leave your questions, your comments, your concerns. And while you're down there, subscribe, ring the bell, find us on our socials. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.